What's up, guys? My name is Gabe and welcome back to the Trojan Blade. Welcome back to a brand new video. If my voice sounds weird, I do apologize. I have a ridiculous cough that has just wreaked havoc on my voice, but we are here, we are pushing through. The spring portal window is finally open, and that of course means we are diving into our first round of portal targets. Now, all of these guys have been linked with USC in one way or another. We have 6 to talk about today, but there are obviously going to be a lot more before this is all said and done. So guys, if you could, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We have a lot to talk about, so let's not waste any more time. First up, we're starting with the defense. Former South Dakota linebacker Gary Bryant III. Yes, I know, Gary Bryant, it's pretty funny. But he is going to be taking an official visit to USC. Now, what this is a hyper-productive linebacker at the FCS level that is a pure seek and destroy linebacker. This is a guy who's very mobile. He's going to be a tackling machine, compiling over 100 tackles last year, 36 solo, 66 assists. He also had 2 picks, 3 passes defense, a forced fumble, and a recovery. This guy was a production monster there at South Dakota. The PFF grades were through the roof as well, an 84.5 defensive grade, elite. And linebacker is absolutely a position of need. On Twitter earlier in the week, I actually made a post saying that I was manifesting us getting an all-conference level linebacker. And in typical USC fan fashion, a lot of people got offended by that for some reason. We absolutely need a proven linebacker in that room. There's no depth behind the starters. And Eric Gentry, for as amazing as he is, has not proven that he can stay on the field for an entire season. A guy like Gary Bryant that has produced at the highest level of FCS football, a guy that can do a lot of jobs for you. He can cover, he can play the run. He's not a guy you have to take off the field in dime situations. So very interested to see where this one goes. Again, he is going to be on campus, I believe, this weekend. Next up, sticking with the defense, we have former Boise State linebacker Andrew Simpson. Now, Andrew's also going to be taking a visit this weekend. 6 foot, 238. And he is originally from the state of California. So Andrew Simpson and Gary Bryant are very similar players, pretty much the exact same build. Both are going to get out there and run. While Andrew was a Mike a lot of the time for Boise, his main role was actually being a hybrid playmaker down in the box. He would rush the passer, he would line up on tight ends. He did a lot of jobs in a very complex defense for Boise State. Now, production-wise, he had 45 tackles on the year, 3 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, and a pick. Again, love to see that production. Playing at a school like Boise that had as good a year as they did, and this was no doubt one of the best defenders on that defense. PFF-wise, he had a 78.8 overall grade and a 77.7 grade against the run. That is very good for a linebacker. Both Simpson and Bryant do seem to be the 2 priorities right now, obviously looking to bolster that linebacker room, and like we talked about earlier, it absolutely needs it. Next up, moving back to the secondary, we're talking about Kennedy Urlacher, the safety from Notre Dame. Yes, this is the son of former Bear Bryant Urlacher. Size-wise, he's 5'11", 195, and again, he is a safety. So honestly, there's a connection to Chad Bowden here, obviously, but other than that, we don't know much about Kennedy. He played 65 defensive snaps last year, 23 of those coming in that insane blowout against Purdue. And during the course of the year, he played okay, not anything special, had a really rough outing in the Army game. This was primarily a special teams player, and that's a job I think he could absolutely do for you. And there is a ton of value in that. But if anyone thinks that Kennedy can just come in and be like a big-time impact defender, I don't really think that's realistic. Now, Tom Loy from 247 immediately said watch out for USC here as soon as Kennedy announced that he was in the portal. So if he's doing that immediately and he has a no contact clause, this one could be wrapping up very, very quickly. Now, next up, flip into the offense. Let's talk some offensive line. We are going to be getting a visit from former Ferris State offensive lineman Bryce George. This is your prototypical Midwest offensive lineman. 6'5", 315. He can play guard or tackle either side. This guy moves incredibly well. He's a former basketball player. He is vicious in the run game. I mean, just think of your prototypical Midwestern offensive lineman, and this guy is that. We need reinforcements on the offensive line. And what we really need are guys that can be versatile. Bryce is exactly that. The ability to play either tackle or guard is insanely valuable. And it's something that this coaching staff has gone after in the past with offensive linemen, especially in the portal. This guy is going to be very highly coveted, so keep an eye out for him. If we could land this guy, that would be a massive win for us. Next up, we're talking about former Syracuse wide receiver Trebor Pena. Now, there's a lot of stuff going on around this kid involving NIL and his falling out with Syracuse. You guys can go look up that story if you want to. I'm definitely not going to blindly take sides here on this channel, but what I do know is that on social media, a lot of the USC coaches have followed this kid. Now, you might see a receiver from Syracuse and think, oh, he can't be that good. No, this kid's the real deal. 84 catches on the year, 941 yards, 9 touchdowns, averaging 11.2 yards a pop. Insane hands, elite speed, a pure vertical burner, makes crazy catches. This guy is a monster, and he would be perfect in this system. Anyone that thinks we don't need another big-time wideout, I think is sorely mistaken. When you look at the Ohio States and the LSUs of the world, these teams that have crazy national title winning teams, they don't just have 3 or 4 really good wideouts. They go 6, 7 deep. And Pena is not a guy that would just come over and catch a few balls. I mean, this kid is an alpha on the football field. If you aren't sold, go watch his performance against Miami. He had 6 catches for 128 yards, had a 50-yard bomb. The kid's an absolute monster. If the whole NIL situation can get sorted out, this would absolutely be a game changer for this offense. And last up for today, with another injury to Late McCree, we are talking about tight ends. And this is my favorite one who's currently in the portal. He's also followed by Chad Savage. We're talking about former Cal tight end Jack Endries. 6'4", 240, going to be a redshirt junior and originally from Danville, California. Last year for Cal, he had 56 catches for 623 yards and 2 scores. Now, this is a guy that actually reminds me of Lake in a lot of ways, but the main area where they're different is this kid can move. He pulls away from defensive backs. You want to talk about another game changer to this passing offense? This kid would be exactly that. He's taking a visit to Texas. This is going to be a very difficult one to pull out, but our coaches are interested. There have been links. I mean, Lake is just beat up at this point. I really feel so bad for him, but we're going to have to do something to bolster that room. Maybe it's Jack, maybe it's someone who hasn't entered the portal yet. But yeah, as of now, those are my 6 portal targets. Again, more and more news is rolling in each and every day, so I will have another one of these videos out probably Monday. But for now, I am going to rest my voice because I feel like I'm going to die. So if you did happen to enjoy this video, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for being here. You're all awesome, and as always, take care and fight on.